Everybody, it's Tyler here at Score Signature Event, checking in 11211X Xelsius. Currently ranked number 1 as we're recording this, by the way, and they have a couple event wins already under the belt, so congrats on a great season so far. But Xelsius looking awesome here. Let's talk about some of the cool features on this robot. I got a great anti-jam mech and code that we'll be talking about, and I want you to pay attention on their Lady Brown, utilizing some flex wheels on here too, a little bit different from what we've seen with that. We'll be giving a great overview of this, detailing how they've come so far as well, talking about some mat strategy, a little bit on their Mogo mech, on their goal rush, and a lot more coming up here on Pits and Parts. Yeah, let's start talking about your drivetrain and your chassis here. So we got a lot of great stuff to walk through. What do you want to cover first?
All right, so our drivetrain uses 36 tooth and 48 tooth gears. Can we flip the bot? And we also have 4 Omni 2.275 inch wheels. We don't have any traction wheels because we believe that traction wheels make it slower for turning, and our driver Paul is really good at driving really quick, and we think that mobility around the field is so important in this game, especially with getting the third Mogo and also the wall sticks. And for autons, we use this odometry, we use this tracking wheel, and that makes it really consistent when we turn, and we've gotten 4 autonomous win points out of 6 matches today.
Yeah, your AWP has been awesome so far on this. I do have to ask you on your drive, what made you only want to go with 4 wheels on it? I know I get going Omni, that totally makes sense to me, but having only 4 wheels on it versus like 6 or 8 that we send other robots.
Yeah, so we also, besides the weight save, as I said, our driver Paul, he decided on this because he likes sitting into the field and you get that more traction and grip. And even though we do get pushed and slide around a lot, this means Paul can make like those drift turns that he's actually getting pretty good at. Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, I'm watching your last match, definitely true with that, and you're able to score in the wall stakes really quick and everything, so definitely I think it's paid off good dividends for you on that. Paul, let's start talking about some of these scoring mechanisms on here. I mean, just so much to break down, from a little bit different type of Lady Brown to your anti-jam and a lot more. What do you want to cover?
Yeah, so I'll just start off with our Mogo mech. So you'll see that our Mogo mech is kind of wide compared to others, so we actually can't clamp on corners right now, but what we do to account for that is we have these free spinning rollers on the corner, so if we drive fast enough while the Mogo's at an angle, which just auto-correct itself. So I don't really have to worry about that as a driver and an autonomous. It just has to be slightly offset for the Mogo mech to work. And just moving on to the intake, we just have a standard 1 motor intake that's connected to both the front stage and the hooks. And yeah, so we just use these vertical rams that reduce friction because they reduce surface area. And for our hooks, we actually had four hooks that were evenly spaced out before, but we noticed that when one hook was flipping a ring at the top and there was another hook directly at the bottom, it would slow down a lot because sometimes it would grab another hook at the bottom at the same time it's trying to flip a goal. So we actually removed 1 hook and just did 3 because it means that when it's scoring one run ring at the top, it's not grabbing onto another goal at the bottom, which helped a lot with the auton consistency and like just scoring on mobile goals. And yeah, so just moving on to our lift, we have a 1-to-3 gear ratio with a 200 RPM motor. And the reason we don't use 5.5 watt motors is so that it doesn't burn out easier, it's faster, just more powerful. And it gives us the chance to potentially descore 2 rings with our Lady Brown at a time. And just covering our actual like holder for the rings. So we actually use flex wheels instead of mesh or like VEX foam because they're a lot more firm, like they don't move as much. But at the same time, it can be a little hard for the ring to be like fully stuck in there. So what Anthony can actually cover this a little bit more, but what we do is just, we have an anti-jam. So you'll see the hook go back and forward. Even if our Lady Brown is up, we can still intake another, can you push that in? Yeah. We can still intake 1 more ring. And we can just hold this Lady Brown up while we're scoring on a mobile goal, or we can either just do 2 at a time really easily without the like heavier like 2 ring Lady Brown. And yeah, I think that's it for that.
I really like the overall build quality that's going into this. I mean, this, I think, is just a very efficient robot for things. There's nothing just overly complex or anything like that. It's just done really, really well.
Yeah.
When you're looking at, competing here at Score and that sort of thing, what do you think has attributed to some of your success as a team overall in terms of competition?
Yeah, so we're just getting so much like support from like people in SoCal, like whether we have a problem with coding or building, we're always getting support, like tips from other teams. Yeah, otherwise for a build quality, we just try to go simple and like light. We don't try to make too many sacrifices with weight saving. It's better to have your bot not break than have like a really slow bot or fast bot. But yeah, we just focus on like simple bracing, not over brace, not under brace, just stuff like that.
Shani, let's talk about on your bot. Notice the Gold Rush mech. Now, I saw during matches, definitely one of the longer doinker type mechs we've seen with that as well too, and working so well for that. So just talking about that, and then we're going to go into some match strategy and how else you're approaching a match too.
Yeah, so basically, as you can see, there's like the plexi on this side of this claw, and so it helps us clear rings in the corner, but you can also notice that it's not too big, so we won't get called out for SG6. And at the same time, we're planning on using this claw for elims, so we'll be able to utilize our goal rush during that time. And so that kind of goes into our strategy, because right now we're not running our goal rush during matches because we are prioritizing Auton win point. And so that means that we have to go for like a consistent like 2 to 3 rings on each goal, and like the alliance take, of course. And so after that, because we get the alliance take during Auton, we don't need to worry about it during the match. And after that, we just prioritize getting the positive corner, and then after that, getting the 3rd goal, and then obviously the wall stakes. And as Anthony and Paul mentioned, like everything that went into the wall stake mech and like our intake just like helps us during the match. For example, like if we're being defended on, and we have an extra ring in the intake, we'll be able to just kind of, if this ring falls off, this can go right back into it, and then we'll just score without having to go out and find a ring for it and stuff like that.
I love the big focus on AWP, especially here at a SIG. You know, it's more difficult to get one, but even more so on top of that, it's just becomes so much more important, almost than, you know, winning autonomous in general, right? Getting that win point for that. So, and I think that for your team, why we've seen so much success from you all is that you've done such a great job with AWP here, and just overall great match strategy as well too. So, Xelsius, thank you so much for taking time to tell us more about this. What a clean robot you built here, and we can't wait to see the final results here at Score. And of course, good luck throughout the rest of the season as well too. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you.